All right, it's time to do a little bit more in terms of assessing Xbox's income streams. Now, one thing a lot of people try to do is they'll, in a sense, downplay what Xbox is doing. And I understand maybe some people may not like the games Xbox makes. I don't play too much of them, honestly, because, again, most of the games I like are made by third-party developers outside of Xbox and PlayStation. Even though both of them are third-party developers and publishers, I still prefer games that they don't have access to. A lot of the DC games, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, and stuff from Capcom. Those are the games that usually catch my attention. So what we're going to do is we're going to just basically, in my lazy way, follow a comment that I actually saw the other day from one of my audience members. So Mr. BDB, shout out to you for putting this out here. We're looking at kind of the money makers that Xbox has. Already we had this report that Xbox's, well, it's now Xbox's anyways, Elder Scrolls Online is generating at least $15 million a month. That to me is kind of the craziest thing I have seen. Just, think about it. Elder Scrolls Online, $15 million monthly. And apparently, it's been doing so for about 10 years. I mean, I just, I've never really seen something so sleeper go under the radar in terms of, in terms of conversations, in terms of revenue in gaming. I mean, just over the course of time, and we didn't even know about it while everybody was paying attention and hyper focused on, Game Pass. It seems like the revenue streams had always been, sneakishly there, right? And just with this particular paradigm alone, we can start extrapolating on other fronts. So what I mean by that is, according to, this audience member of mine who put out this big list, imagine what these other games are pulling in each month. World of Warcraft, Elder Scrolls Online, we already know. Overwatch, wow. They just recently added the Overwatch package to PC. I think what was it that they were bringing? They were bringing like some benefits from Overwatch 2 to PC. This is crazy. It's interesting though that we haven't talked much about this particular paradigm. And then imagine other games like Minecraft, right? That are also under the Xbox's ecosystem. Call of Duty Warzone, Halo Infinite, Candy Crush. I think Xbox has a pipeline of sustainable income that, in a sense, is far reaching or is complemented from Game Pass itself, because a lot of these titles are already on Game Pass. And not only does Game Pass allow for the accessibility in terms of that, it brings in the player base that's able to be monetized in this category. Now, I want to go ahead and highlight something. I know some people are not really big fans of live service games, right? They say, well, live service games, I don't really like them. They don't really provide me, what it is that I need in terms of, what it is that I'm trying to, achieve as a gamer and so on and so forth. I get it. However, you have to realize that even PlayStation themselves, right? They're in a position where live service games have been the lifeblood of what they've used to make single player games. The money, the funds, and the finances from live service games, and not their live service games, from everybody else, having the benefits from Call of Duty, having the benefits from EA, having the benefits from, other games, have given them the war chest to be able to put into their live service video games. The only problem is, they can't make enough of that money because these live service games, these single player games that they make are just super expensive and they take a lot of time. So they themselves are looking for live service pathways to be able to go back and, in a sense, try to close down the gap in the competition. I strongly believe that they will need one or two of these. And I think it makes, in my mind anyways, it makes sense why they're jumping to this live service thing. However, they're taking the wrong approach to it simply because availability of their game is lacking. Oh, I just punched my microphone. Sorry about that. Availability of their game is lacking because what they want to do is they want to actually keep Xbox out of the pipeline, not knowing that live service fund, thing has to come from as many sources as you possibly can get your money from. I mean, think about a game like Elder Scrolls Online. It's available in as many places as possible. Think about a game like Call of Duty. Think about a game like Minecraft. So I think Xbox, being a third-party publisher and leaning into it rather than PlayStation pretending it's not, is where I think the true strategy lies right now, and the true power of that platform itself. PlayStation really has a long way to go in this particular area. And to be very honest and to be very fair to them, they're trying their best. However, the one thing that they don't have to complement this as well, again, is they don't have the value proposition. They're just very money hungry. And that thing by itself, just having that money hungry approach, can be very abrasive to a customer base. I mean, it's just wild how, people look at it and they can't really see it as much. Because I can tell you, if say, look at this situation with God of War Ragnarok right now. God of War Ragnarok is out, right? And the very first thing that a lot of people are, taking into account is, they've blocked all these countries. They don't have PSN in these countries. And then for PC players, they want you to actually get a PSN account. And a lot of people have just basically jumped in and just pirated the game. I'm not, condoning piracy, but this is a service problem from them, right? Because of the way their business has always been all this while, people just don't want to do business with them on other fronts. It's only hardcore PlayStation fans that keep, seeing their business model as anything beneficial, when really, it really isn't, to be honest. Like, they make these handful of games that you can do without in a given year, for real. So what people are doing is people are just looking at it like, well, this is not really fun for us. And they're approaching other, publishers. Now, let me give you an example. If, say, Microsoft said, or Xbox said, Microsoft said, open a Microsoft account to play our games on Steam, a lot of people won't probably even flinch about it, to be very honest. And this is, again, one of those places where goodwill has been earned. As much as Microsoft and Xbox are not, in my opinion, saints, as, they're also corporations that want to take your money, they have seemingly earned that goodwill among gamers across the different platforms, where I think they can actually get away with something like that, if you actually ask me. So again, this is a very interesting, proposition at the end of the day. And I think right now, PlayStation is facing that aspect from PC players, because there's nothing special PlayStation has done for PC players in the past few years. I think it's only the console players who have basically been in that category to say, oh, okay, PlayStation is giving us these games and all that stuff, whereas PC players are like, man, if you want to do business, you're going to do business on our terms. If not, take your games away. We're not going to buy a PlayStation to play these games. And that's most, PC players. But anyways, I thought I'd point that out as, something very interesting. And I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching the video. Appreciate you guys' time and audience. And hopefully we'll talk pretty soon in another one. Peace out.